Hey folks, just a quick little video about an interesting little subject, at least to me, hopefully to some of you. Are there companies that you deal with or try to deal with that just glitch? They just don't seem to have their act together. You want to try their products, but every time you try to, there's issues, whether it's customer service, whether it's quality control, whether it's shipping, distribution, other errors. Because I've run into those. The point of this video is not to call out certain brands, but for instance, I've tried now 3 times to get one of those Glenn Burton Chicago hollow body guitars that you see on Amazon for $1.99 or $2.39 or something like that. 3 times I've got those, and every single time, and they go through Amazon warehouse. When I found a discounted one that I can fix up and do videos on and resell, every single time I've tried to get one of those, they send me the wrong guitar. Usually a cheaper acoustic guitar. They won't credit the price difference when you talk to Amazon's customer service, because the seller won't let them, according to the representative. So I have to just return it, and that's the end of that. So I've tried to get one natural, and 2 times I tried to get the Sunburst model, and I was hoping to do a video today of that Sunburst model and compare it to the IYV Sunburst hollow body at the same price, which I think would be a really interesting comparison video. But I just can't get one, because every time the opportunity comes up and I jump on it, something happens with the shipping, or they send the wrong thing, or they send one that's smashed. It's just one of those companies where I just have nothing but problems with, to the point where the next time one of their guitars comes up, an opportunity comes up, I might just say, forget it. I had a similar experience a few years ago, a little bit before I started this channel, buying Rogue acoustic guitars. I had a similar experience, and I tried 3 or 4 times, because the Rogue guitars at the time were so cheap, like $59, $69, and then I do tons of setup on them, put a gig bag with them, and make a decent starter guitar for people, that only have $100 to pay for a guitar. And I ran into the same issues, and I just swore off that company. I'm almost there with Glary. I've had a few issues with their guitars as well, to the point where I'm sending back more than I'm keeping to work on. It's not just guitar companies too. I documented the situation I had with Hard Luck King's guitars. I did a video on that. Tried to check out their stuff and ran into customer service issues. I've also had 1 or 2 issues with Guitar Fetish, and probably would have done more reviews of their stuff, but for that. They do the Slick and the Javier stuff. So that they're just I would have even more review videos on this channel, but there are just some models, or even brands of guitars or ukuleles, that whenever you try to deal with that particular vendor or distributor, there just seem to be repetitive style issues. I've also had problems with gig bag companies as well. I look for cheap gig bags because there's so little markup in the guitars that I fix up and sell, or set up and sell. I just can't be spending $40, $50 on a gig bag. So I try to find companies where I can buy bulk gig bags for under $10 a piece, right? Obviously somebody might already have a case, or they might have a better gig bag, or they might want to go buy a hard shell case. But just getting a nice gig bag with a guitar like this, even to protect it during shipping, is nice, and this is more liable to sell if I include a gig bag than it is if I don't. So I've learned to keep a stock of bulk gig bags, but I'm on my third or fourth company now, and the issue that I've been having recently with the chrome bags that I've been including with all my guitars is they just keep sending the wrong models. So they offer basically a electric gig bag which fits snugly around most electric models, and then they sell a acoustic gig bag that fits a Dreadnought, but also fits concert and auditorium sizes as well. Won't fit a jumbo. Those are really hard to find source gig bags for. But every time I order the acoustic gig bags, they send the electric gig bags, and vice versa. They mix up their orders all the time. They also do stuff like because I buy from a vendor on eBay to buy the bulk. They also do stuff like I've got 12 guitars that just came in, so I buy 12 electric gig bags. Well, they label the shipment right away, so you see the tracking come up. But then when you track the tracking for the first 3 or 4 days, it doesn't move. So, they label it, and then it takes them a week to drop it off to the post office, which is really annoying. So, a lot of times, if you're like me, you need gig bags fast. And I don't know if I'm going to get them in 2 days, 5 days, 10 days. There's just no way to know with this particular company. And I've let them know, and they keep saying they're working on it, but I still continue to have problems. But it's really, really annoying where I get 12 guitars. I need 12 electric gig bags, and they send me 12 acoustic ones. And I have to put these in a large gig bag where it swooshes around. It's just kind of annoying. So, I'm looking for another source right now for gig bags, just because the same issues keep cropping up time and time again. And I'm wondering if you've run into this. It just seems to be with certain vendors. It could be an eBay seller. It could be an Amazon seller. Remember, not everything comes from the central Amazon warehouses. Sometimes they come through third-person sellers. A lot of times they do. And also remember that when they are sent from the Amazon warehouses, Amazon doesn't always pack and spec those. They get them in bulk, let's say from the parent company. They don't take them out of the box when they sell and then repackage them or check them out. They just ship them out, often in substandard packaging. And so if you have issues, Amazon's, they don't know anything about it, because they're just the middlemen in this transaction. The person that actually packed the guitar and warehoused the guitar is the original company, and often the guitars aren't opened since they leave that original warehouse, and they just sit at Amazon until they sell. So there are issues with certain brands of guitar to do with Amazon and eBay that may trace back to the original seller and packer, and sometimes it's definitely Amazon's fault. They don't repackage things very well, in my opinion. I don't know why, but everything seems to be such a gamble when it comes to shipping through that company, and they must spend millions on their return procedures. If they just packed everything better, it seems like they would avoid a lot of those problems. But maybe it's just cheaper to write off all those returns than to invest in better packing materials. I don't know. There's a reason why they do it that way. But anyway, there are a lot of times I have a video slated for you, and something goes wrong with the company I'm dealing with, and I don't get to review that guitar. And sometimes there are guitars that you've even asked me, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And I'm reading your comment thinking, I've tried twice to get that guitar. There are often, this is not a complaint, this is more like a FYI video, but there are often little pockets of distribution that have the same sort of kind of irksome problems. And I don't know what it is with those Glen Burton guitars, the way they're labeled in the factory, but when you order a $200 Sunburst hollow body guitar and they confuse it for a Dreadnought, I got a Dreadnought guitar, a brown Dreadnought guitar with a faux flame top and a amplifier and case, and it was a whole package deal. And I looked it up online, and it was $139, but to me it wasn't worth that. So I told Amazon, I said, look, I'll save you a return. I bought a $200 guitar, you sent me a $130 guitar. I'll save you a return if you credit me the difference, which is, $70 or so. And they wouldn't even do that. And I didn't even want that guitar, and I didn't think it was worth $130. And if I set it up and resold it, I certainly wouldn't be recouping any more than that, if that, even breaking even. So I was just trying to do it for them to avoid yet another return, because I have to return so many through them in a given year. But they're not interested. They just don't want to work with you. They just say, no, for this particular model, you either keep it for the price you paid, even though they sent me the exact wrong guitar, or you just return it and then reorder what you want. So I tried to save them a return and take a guitar that I really didn't want, and that didn't even work. So yeah, there are just certain little pockets of this business where you run into these issues time and time again. There are also other models that always seem to get dinged up. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? There are certain models of guitars that you get, and they're always poorly packaged. Every shipment is a gamble, and so they're often liable for nicked corners or little dents in the finish. And that's even worse with acoustic guitars as well. There are certain brands of acoustic guitars where they're almost always dinged up when you get them. And if you're buying a acoustic guitar that's, say, worth $150 and it's dinged up, got chips or cracks on it, that it's no longer worth half that. So it's really hard to keep them in that particular situation, because there's just no way you're going to resell them. You're going to lose money. So yeah, I know this is really for those people who sort of fix up, mod, keep some, sell some kind of thing, but it's good information even for people who are buying a guitar for the first time, for their first guitar. Just be aware, once you have 2 returns in a row from a company, you might want to look at a different brand of guitar, because it seems to be that there are little glitches and bugs in certain systems that keep repeating themselves, and it's a hassle to deal with. So yeah, that's why I haven't got any reviews of Rogue guitars on my site. I got really tired of dealing with those issues and just stop trying to buy those guitars. But and there are probably others as well. I'm kind of picking on them. But anyway, folks, let me know what your repeat issues with certain brands and models have been. It's always interesting to share information. All right, folks. See you on the next video. Stay safe.